At the start of 2022, I transformed this spare room in my house into a home studio for two for under 2,000 Australian dollars. Why would I do that though? After graduating at the start of this year, my mate Javen and I decided not to pursue a career in architecture and instead started a small creative studio out of the spare room in my family home. The requirements for our workspace were pretty simple. It needed to inspire creativity and feel nice. It needed sufficient storage and to be aesthetically efficient, more on this later. And finally, it needed to be a good backdrop for the content we were about to start producing. In this video, I'm going to take you through the build process of this space, as well as some nifty hacks I figured out to keep the cost down. This video is sponsored by Milanote, but more on that later. So, in January, this was the state of the room. This room was my dad's study, which in turn kind of became the dumping ground of the house. The first thing we needed to tackle was finding a place to put all his things and helping him declutter, because there was about 10 years worth of random stuff in here at the time. We ended up settling on a pile of books that needed to stay in this room, and the rest of it ended up in a storage locker. This giant desk had to go, and we had to remove this huge sofa, which was so f***ing heavy. But with everything cleared out and with a blank canvas, we could finally move on to the fun bit, which was measuring and planning. Javen's girlfriend, Cheville, is a graduate architect, so she pulled an absolute god tier move and modeled up the room in 3D for us. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy to go to Javen's house to film it, so I'm just gonna sketch it out. The middle of the room would have 4 cabinets back to back that would serve as storage for my dad's old books and stuff, as well as double as a bench top for building things, sketching ideas and whatnot. The back wall would have our 2 desks side by side with enough space for 2 monitors on Visa mounts. Above the monitors, we would have 1 long shelf, which we would DIY, and on the other side of the room, we'll have a storage cabinet dedicated to camera gear. So aesthetically, I didn't want to settle for any one specific thing or like follow a trend. So as weird as it sounds, I went entirely by gut feel. So the best way for me to do that was to get the thoughts out of my head, or probably out of my Instagram saved, and into something more tangible. I use this app called Milanote, which is very conveniently today's video sponsor, to collate everything in one place in a tidy mood board. I know this is sponsored content, but I've been using Milanote for years before I started doing any YouTube videos. I'm a really lazy, but like a very visual person. So I really struggle to ideate if there's a lot of friction between me and the things that I'm working on. Basically, it works like a digital pin board where you can just grab images easily using their like web clipper plugin. But honestly, I just use the screenshot tool in Windows because I just find it faster. I just screenshotted a bunch of stuff that I saved on Instagram and chucked it into the app. And I kid you not, after like 5 minutes of dragging stuff around, this is what I came up with. So lots of pops of vibrant color, good amount of plants, neutral tones for longer lasting furniture such as desks, and capitalizing off loads of lamps for winter and nighttime because the light built into this room is just so garbage. Another thing to take into consideration is the use of verticality in these spaces. They tend to get things up off the ground, which is a really good way to create a sense of spaciousness, and the difference in textures is really nice as well, just creates a little bit more visual interest. Like the rough versus smooth, the natural versus painted, you know, you probably get me. Yeah, I just really want to thank Milanote for sponsoring this video. You can sign up using the link in the description completely for free with no time limit. Be sure to give it a crack. Let me know what you think. I really love what they do. I've been using this stuff for ages, like I said, so let me know what you think. Right, so here we are. Present day. It feels really weird saying that. It feels like I'm in a movie or something. But anyway, this is what the office looks like. I'm not gonna really tidy it up or anything, just so that you can get an idea of what it looks like after aging for about a year. For the centerpieces, we settled on these super sick metal locker thingies, and I reckon we probably bought the last 4 in IKEA Adelaide. They're like the perfect height and have a really nice off-white color so it isn't too visually invasive. The simple shape allows for really big things to be hidden underneath, and all my dad's books can just sit inside of it out of sight, and it just becomes part of the landscape of the room, which is really nice. We're currently using it mostly for keyboard storage. We plan to have room for growth, but something I definitely didn't expect was that I'd become a keyboard YouTuber, so here's the pretty sketchy solution to that. One of the points that I brought up was that it needs to be aesthetically efficient. Now, that is definitely not a real term, and I probably just made it up, but basically what I mean is that it needs to be very easy for me to keep things looking good. And if I'm left unchecked, this place would just be an absolute chaotic mess. A really good example of how we've managed to keep some things aesthetically efficient is everything in this space is labeled with blue tape, and just marker. It looks nice, it's really quite cheap, and it's just something that I can keep up quite easily. This actually leads us very nicely to the main attraction, which is the desks. Obviously, these computers weren't included in the furniture spend, but we managed to make it work within our budget. I'm gonna list the specs on the screen for those of you who know a thing or two. I just came off the back of using Mac for like 7 years, so I just let Javen do most of the specking. Just keeping in mind that most of our work revolves around filmmaking and 3D rendering. I don't really play games, and because this is a workspace, it's not really designed for gaming. To reduce visual clutter and add a bit more desk space, we opted to have the 2 monitors on some super cheap VESA mounts, and grounding the desks with pops of color are these super nice desk mats, courtesy of our friends over at Turbulent Labs. My keyboard and mouse situation is pretty basic. My mouse is just a Logitech MX Master 3, and the keyboard is depending on whatever I'm reviewing at the time, I guess, or looking at the time. Currently, I'm using the Heavy Grail because I'm obsessed with it, and I'm just kind of swapping between the Heavy Grail and the TGR Jane. I like those 2 keyboards the best. I like the build that I've come up with. The audio situation is nothing really special. I just have this Bose SoundLink mini speaker because it has an aux port and Bluetooth capability, which is just convenient. Alright, let's address these desk shelves. We knew we really wanted to have the desk shelves because the added space below and above would be really awesome for tucking away small cables and speakers, and various knickknacks can sit on top, but we couldn't afford those super nice handmade ones from Grove Made, and we're also based in Australia, so I didn't really want to even think about how much it would cost to get one of those things shipped over. So instead, this was the solution. It's literally just a off-cut IKEA kitchen cabinet face with literal driveway pavers just propping them up. The cabinet face was like 10-20 bucks, and the driveway pavers were like 70 cents each. I actually think the green adds a lot of life to the setup too, which is pretty good. We've actually ended up using pavers and breeze blocks like all over the office to help add that element of verticality. It also just helps to zone things off a little bit more and just make things feel a little bit cozier. We actually went for these larger breeze blocks because the holes in the middle allow for small nooks and crannies for us to store random knickknacks, and even uses like a planter pot, which is really nice. Above the desk, as mentioned before, is a gigantic shelf which we DIY'd after binging a few too many Matthew and Cena videos and thinking that DIY is easy. We were actually gonna have 2 of these shelves, but it was just too visually heavy, so we opted to have just the one. It's basically just one giant sheet of ply which we got cut at Bunnings and brought it home and sanded it and then just stained it to a walnut color. You can see that it's pretty shoddy around the edges, but you know, it's not so bad for like a first home DIY attempt. On the complete other side of the desks is the camera gear cabinet, which is for camera stuff. We do make films from time to time, so that requires us to rig up cameras, charge batteries, and on set we need light modifiers sometimes, so that all needed to be stored in one place so we could keep track of everything. You can see my old disassembled rig here, which is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I'd rigged it up to use on client shoots with this cine modded Sigma 18-35 f1.8 just to add a little bit more weight to the camera, and it just looks, I don't know, pro, I guess. All of my YouTube videos, apart from the last 3, were actually recorded on that camera. Because the camera is so big, you need a huge tripod, and with the way that we started making more YouTube videos as opposed to paid client work, lugging around a giant camera with a gigantic tripod was just too cumbersome for trying to create faster content. So I've actually downsized, and now I'm shooting on a Fuji X-H2S with a Tamron 17-70 f2.8. Thank you, Ansel, for the recommendation. This camera is insane. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the camera rigs, but if you guys want a full video about that, let me know. I'm always happy to talk about cameras. I love talking about cameras. So drop it in the comments or send me a DM, I don't know. Now, I might make a whole separate video on this, but tying the entire space together is the lighting. As you can see, during the day, it's quite nice and bright because we have this gigantic f***off window on the one side, but at night, like I mentioned earlier, the lighting in this room is suboptimal at best. So what we did was we opted for some IKEA smart bulbs because they're an awesome budget, yes, because they're an awesome budget alternative to Philips Hue and those other high-end smart bulbs. We've got the room separated into task and ambient light, and it's all synced via the Apple HomeKit app. We emphasized having lighting behind the monitors because we didn't want to blast our eyes when it gets dark early in winter, and just tried to supplement that with some softer ambient lighting from these other lamps on the other side of the room. But yeah, that's our humble little office space. It's obviously a work in progress. Since I started filming this video and scripting everything, I've now added the pegboard, which is why it's not really mentioned in the video. The space inside these cabinets is still really underutilized, and obviously the cable management in this place is garbage, but it's an ongoing project and I hope that I can keep updating you guys on it as I keep going on. Anyway, this is probably going to be the last video that I'm going to be putting up for this year. Not probably, definitely the last video. So I just wanted to say a huge thanks to everyone. At the start of this year, I had 50 subs and now I have over 6,000 of you guys watching. That growth is immense for me and I'm truly stoked. I'm going to be heading to Japan for a few weeks just to unplug for a little bit and do some family stuff. I'm going to be going to Singapore along the way. So if you're keen on following along, please feel free to follow me on my Instagram. I'm going to be spamming heaps of photos there, I'm sure of it. I am hoping to diversify my content a little bit. I've got some really awesome things planned for the next year. Going to be doing some studio tours and hopefully more in-depth design process videos. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys again so much. Wish you all a very happy new year and I'm keen to see you guys at the start of 2023. Cheers!
All that sounds to me so obnoxious.
Boy, you played yourself with your nonsense. I don't know what you